morning, my beautiful, handsome people. It's Wednesday. What a wonderful day. I just feel like singing Disney songs today. So, today I feel inclined to talk about friends. I mean, friends are the salt of life. Friends are awesome. Friends are good when you make them good. And the Bible has a lot to say about friends, and there's so many examples. When you talk about ride or die, reconsider, because I can even start with the first example: Ruth and Naomi. Dead on ride or die. Ruth was ride or die. Like, oh my God. We can go to Ruth chapter 1, verse 16. But Ruth replied, "Do not urge me to leave you, nor to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." Hey, Ruth had a whole book to herself. A whole book in the Bible dedicated to her and her story. And it is worthwhile. I mean, she left everything behind just to follow Naomi and to serve her God, which is truly, truly remarkable. We can also go to the famous David and Jonathan. These two are inseparable. But the thing is, the way they first met was pretty interesting. If you go to 1 Samuel chapter 18, this was like literally immediately after he had killed Goliath, and they were like, "Hey, who's this guy?" He was brought into the temple. I mean, he became a celeb overnight. So 1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 1, it says, "After David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself." I mean, he was already fulfilling the commandment that says, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." David and Jonathan had quite an intense friendship. I mean, Jonathan saved his life from his own dad. I mean, can you imagine your own dad rooting against your friend, and you have to pick sides? I mean, that is honestly, that is friendship. I don't know what is, but that is. We can also go to Job chapter 2. Job's story is so significant in that he believed God no matter what. I feel as though if anyone went through this, they would definitely be in a position to be like, if God is the one who provides, why would he take away? Yeah. So he had every reason to hate God, but you know what? God was so good. In the end, he gave him double for what he lost. And for sure, his 3 friends were there. That is in Job chapter 2 verse 11, and it says, "When Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zohar the Naamanite heard about the troubles that had come upon him, they set out for their homes and met together by agreement and sympathized with him and comfort him." I mean, in times like that, you do need your friends, and when they come through, they come through. But I feel as though those Job's 3 friends were, they needed Job. Job didn't need them. They needed Job, because if you read their story, you would realize that they didn't quite help the situation. They sympathized with him. They were there for him, and that was amazing. However, I feel like Job carried the torch here. And then we go to Daniel. Daniel, to be honest, was such a significant friend. I feel like he was the alpha, alpha friend. There's always an alpha friend who's there when you need advice. I mean, Yes, I have been one of those friends who just follows everything the alpha friend says, yeah. and and you really don't think for yourself. But Daniel, if anything, was very level-headed, and you could see from Daniel chapter 1 we can start with verse 8. But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way. Okay, Daniel had already set himself a standard, and I feel as though we need friends like that. If you can't find a friend like that, be that friend. I mean, if there are decisions that you're trying to make and you can see that your alpha friend is not making the right decision, hey, make a decision, take a stand for yourself in a very mutual understanding way, in a way that doesn't break the friendship. I can say, because Daniel already had friends who are inclined, and they were in the same position, they were inclined in the same kind of situation. I don't want to misconstrue friendship in any way, but I can continue reading. Now, God had caused the official to show favor and sympathy to Daniel, but the official told Daniel, I am afraid my lord the king has assigned your food and drink. He was just following orders. Why should he see you looking worse than the young men your age? The king would then have my head because of you. Then Daniel said to the guard whom the chief official had appointed over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance than that of the young men who eat the royal food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. So he agreed to this and tested them for 10 days. I mean, Daniel is a sort of friend like you need to go to the gym with. If you have some goals that you need to attain, I feel like Daniel is the guy. Wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym for 1 hour, go out, start your day. Daniel is your guy. Okay. But then we also go to Daniel chapter 2, verse 49, and it says, moreover, Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego administrators of the province of Babylon, while Daniel himself remained in the royal court. I feel like even in these times, they were truly significant. The friends together truly went through a lot of trials in the palace, in the royal king. They really stood the test of character. And if you read the story of Daniel when he was taken to the lion's den, I mean, so much happened, you guys. And I feel like if you have a friend who's gone through with you, ride or die, yes, you can see the example. The Bible sets a very clear example on how friendships should be. And we go to Jesus. Jesus had a lot of friends. Yeah. I mean, he was famous. You talk about celebrities now? Jesus was legit. Like, I feel like from morning to evening, he was dealing with paparazzi. Signing autographs, aka healing people, restoring friend, like he did it all. And we see this very clearly in the story of Mary and Martha and Lazarus. Jesus, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, they were quite a dynamic of friends, because we can start with Luke chapter 10, when they first had an encounter with Martha and Mary, where Mary and Martha had opened the home to Jesus. You know what? I'm being very, very inaudible right now. So I'll just read from Luke chapter 10, verse 38. As Jesus and his disciple went on their way to the village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. So in this context, I feel as though he had gone there. That was the first time they had gone there. And Jesus, you know it. He came through again. He went there again. And he spent time, this time round, he spent a lot of time there. And we can go to John chapter 11, verse 38. Jesus, once more, deeply moved, came to the tomb, and there was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. Take away the stone, he said. But Lord, said Martha, the sister of the dead man, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there for 4 days. Then Jesus said, did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? I mean, right there and then, he confirmed his friendship to Martha. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for you, whether it smells like it or not. Okay? So, leave it to God. Yeah. So, I mean, we can see God was such a good friend when he was on earth, and even now, he's a good friend. We can go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is a faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. I mean, what? There's no other good friend. He is a friend who fills all gaps. He is a friend like no other. He is God. And we can go to same Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. What more of a friend would you want other than that? A friend who will never ever leave you nor forsake you. Omnipresent, always present in everything that you could ever want. In Psalm chapter 1, verse 1, now we go to a phase of the effects of friendships. And I think it's great to understand that your friendships do affect you. And we can read from Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. I think that speaks for itself. And we can go to Psalms chapter 86, which explains how much of a friend God is, and how, let me just read Psalms 86, verse 15. But you, O Lord, are compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. Because we know we can be annoying sometimes, yeah. We can provoke God at times, but God is so merciful. He is abounding. He is faithful. Whatever you have set out to do, he will see you through, honey. Baby, he will see you through, honey. Okay? Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20, and it says, he who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. Hey, not my words, but I think I can concur. I can agree totally with what it says. I mean, Proverbs is a book of wisdom. It even talks about how many friends you have. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, a man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer to a brother. I mean, let's say you win the lottery today, honey. People come crawling in, knocking on the door, asking the reporters. I'm telling you, everyone would want to be your friend. But when it's all gone, when something tragic happens, there is always that one friend who will always come through. And the Bible says it. It confirms it. John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love has no one than this, than he who lays down his life for his friends. Jesus did this. He laid down his life for us. He broke every law, every affirmity, every unforgiveness. He laid it down at the cross. I mean, what better example than that? James 2 verse 23. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God and it was credited to him as righteousness, and he was called God's friend. I mean, so Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29, it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, and that it may benefit those who listen. Because when you're talking, there are always people listening, whether it's by default or they're just being nosy, okay? Yes, we all have that kind of situation, and it's amazing how the Bible lets it out. I mean, it tells you, hey, you could talk about someone, but let it be helpful, let it be beneficial, because when that's maybe somebody's overhearing and they are facing a similar problem, or they will come to a similar problem. So it would be helpful to, I don't know, say something helpful, say something that will, hey, they might just brush it off. For instance, this is the ladies who talk about their men, yeah, and breakups and all that stuff, yeah. Let me tell you, if it worst comes to worst and you've broken up, hey, just forgive, yeah. End of story. Don't say anything. Don't, like, if it's ended, if it's come to an end, it is the end, yeah. But God is gracious, God is your friend, God is so good. He will never leave you nor forsake you, according to Deuteronomy. He is there when you need him. He understands everything that you're going through. He will listen to every problem, every good thing, that every praise, everything, every worship, everything, every prayer. He will be there for you. And I truly, truly hope that you are blessed today, my beautiful, handsome people. It's a long video today, but honestly, I feel like I needed to exhaust everything that was said there. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment. Say hi, say anything you like. Open book, open anything, say anything. I can even give you advice if you want. And with that, I love you so, so, so much, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye.